Alrighty, everyone. Welcome, Planet Earth. This is Top Shelf Takes, the only show on the whole internet that's made up of 1,000% fact.
This week we're going to be discussing the top 6 all-time movie and TV show puppets.
We go through different items in cinema and entertainment and make a top 6 list. We do top 6 because we give you a high five and a thumbs up. I am Tommy, or Biz. I am channel creative genius / dinosaur expert. Normal host Tim Edsel isn't here this week, as you can see. So I'm your host this week.
I'm Dylan.
And I'm Elisa.
And again, let us remind the audience, this is 100% fact. There is no opinion whatsoever. We have spent weeks tediously constructing our lists for your entertainment, everybody.
I haven't seen my family in a month because of it.
At the number 6 spot, because if you watched the previous episodes, I consider the number 6 spot to be kind of sort of honorable mention. Someone that you want to see include this list, but couldn't necessarily fall above the other characters. So at number 6, a little recency bias, I have Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda needs to be mentioned. He stole the show on Mandalorian. Like, you can't not love him. Even the people on set talk about how cute and lovable he is. We all know he's a puppet, but he holds a special place in our hearts. So at number 6, I have Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda is also on my list, but not at number 6.
He is much higher on that list.
Yeah.
My number 6 is debatably everyone's favorite ginger. It's Chucky. The little homicidal plaything.
Okay.
Which is one of those characters that I think holds up through test of time. Michael Myers, dips. Jason, dips. Chucky, everyone is terrified of your kid's toy coming to life.
As they should be.
And if we're talking puppets that get stuff done, he kills people. What other puppet does that?
Number 6, I also believe that this is an honorable mention. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared franchise, but it is this kind of underground popular puppet, scary, weird YouTube show. I think Sketchbook deserves to be in number 6. She is the main antagonist in the first episode, and she sings about creativity, but she manipulates others to suppress their creativity. And she doesn't think that green is a creative color, which is pretty interesting. And she can break through time and space and create insanity and blood and gore. And I think the ability for a puppet to do that is magnifique.
I would agree. That's an excellent argument. I've definitely heard of it. I've never seen it myself.
No.
The green is not a creative color line is what got me. I was like, I've definitely heard that before.
Yep. Iconic.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, in terms of most badass puppets, I definitely have to give it to you to start. I mean,
we still have no idea what we just voted for.
Well, I've just based on the argument here.
That might be the best argument so far in the show.
Wiping the floor with Chucky. Sorry, Tommy. Baby Yoda's just the cute factor.
We put Baby Yoda last. Numero 6 is Sketchbook.
Okay, number 5 is Edward R. Carney from the Mr. Meaty series. He is 102 years old. He founded Mr. Meaty in 1904 with his infamous pork rib recipe. But then in 1912, he decided to be cryogenically frozen so he could come back in the future to enact his world plan for domination. And I think that it's extra special that this weird, creepy, old frozen dude decided to freeze himself in the meat locker inside of Mr. Meaty. He is a parody version of Colonel Sanders. He has a really cool wheelchair, even though he can walk around. And I think that he's a super creep because the manager, Mr. Wink, has a chip in the back of his neck that whenever he gets out of line, Mr. Carney will shock him. And also, he's pretty terrible overall. He won't let Mr. Wink leave because Mr. Wink's great-great-great-grandfather signed a binding contract that prevents him from quitting. So he's just very well developed and overall very creepy.
That is like the first and second best arguments you've given in like the whole show.
Yeah.
You're killing it right now.
My number 5. You can describe this guy as an alien life form. It's Alf. First of all, creepiest design that may have ever been on running television. Like that's like the early Arthur books came to life.
Oh yeah.
But in terms of puppets you'd want to hang out with, Alf's got to be number 1. Because deep down, he wants to sit on the couch, order a pizza, and have a beer. That's like 3 of my 2 favorite things.
Do you also like eating cats?
Well, you don't have our hobbies. And he's the only real one who's a member of the family. The Tanners took him in as one as their own.
This is true.
And that may be one of the saddest finales ever.
Oh, I don't want to talk about it.
They made a movie because kids were going to therapy.
Did they really?
Yeah. Hey guys, Alf is still alive. Netflix, since I know you're listening, reboot.
I agree.
Bring it back, man.
I know I came in strong with the Mr. Meaty, and I don't know how you can top Alf, but my heart is with Alf right now.
Dylan?
We'll see how I do here. My number 5 is Pinocchio. And I know it's animated enough, but he is, in all technicality, to start, a puppet. So I think it's a controversial pick. I know. There's an argument, Elf, real boy. It's up for debate by the end. But I mean, in terms of like just puppets, he's a pretty iconic one. The Disney franchise as well. I figured he should make a mention on this list. However, Tommy, I think you provide an excellent argument.
Yeah. And Pinocchio kind of sucks.
Wow. Pinocchio!
You gotta turn the channel energy.
Turn the
I
channel.
make a bonfire out of that kid.
To further go into your argument, Dylan, are we talking about Pinocchio from the original film Pinocchio? Are we talking about the live action Pinocchio? Or you might have it with Pinocchio from the Shrek franchise.
Ooh, another good point. I was thinking the original one.
Okay.
I completely forgot about Shrek Pinocchio.
Shrek Pinocchio is pretty good, but probably not as good as Elf.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Alf number 5?
Yeah, I think he's a solid pick.
All right, so our number 5, Alf.
All right, I'll start this one off. Number 4, I have Miss Piggy. I feel is an excellent person to have on this list. One of the classic Muppets. I think you can't talk about the Muppets without talking about Miss Piggy. And I think she deserves a spot on this list. And what better spot than number 4, everybody? Unless higher up. We could have her higher up. However, I had to hold someone special for Tim, as you will see later. Tim asked me to make sure someone's included on this list. We'll get there. But because of this, I have Miss Piggy coming in at number 4.
Okay.
My number 4, I think, is the puppet which has touched the most people's lives. At one point in everyone's early life, you had at least one of these in your house. It's Elmo.
Okay.
He's touched kids. Okay, I need to reword that.
That was Excellent, Tommy.
Immediate regret.
And cut right there.
He's impacted the most people's lives out of all of these. Every child, when you're 8 months old, is watching Sesame Street and loving it. He's the only one of these characters who's got a theme park after him. Sesame Street Park is lit. And how can you argue against Elmo?
I think for all these reasons, Elmo should be higher on this list, Tommy. You're really hyping up Elmo just for the 4th spot.
It's the voice. The voice brings him down on my list.
Really?
Oh.
Ouch.
Elmo doesn't speak proper English on an educational show.
All right, boys, get buckled up for your favorite 43-foot-long lucky dragon. We have Falcor from the Never-Ending Story coming in 4th. He is the best character in the Never-Ending Story, and there is not one single mean bone in his body, and everybody in Fantasia loves him, so they don't mess with him. He has no fear, just flying around being himself, and that's why he's at my number 4.
I didn't even think of like prop puppets because I just didn't think they score because they're not as much as characters. But he's up there.
Yeah, he is. Absolutely.
Amazing. Just the artistry of him alone, 43 feet long. Yeah. And that's just it. He's albino too, which is such a nice character choice.
And for the time, such great work on it.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love practical effects?
Yeah.
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 Impractical people.
I also think that Miss Piggy should be higher, and I'm just putting that out there. Just putting that out there.
We can fight Miss Piggy for a higher spot as well, depending on how this list continues on.
Interesting. Good to know. Good to know.
So we get
our number 4, Valcor from Never Ending Story.
Coming in hot, number 3, Beaker from the Muppets. He is our favorite skinny-headed assistant to Dr. Melondew and is often the test subject. He can only say meep most times, but in different shows and movies, he has found the ability to say small phrases and words, but no more than that. And I really like Funson's name for him, which is his partner. His nickname is Peeky Boo, or Beaky Boo, sorry, which I just find adorable. And I love his bulging eyes and his weird nose, and his crazy hair. I love him.
Also, in the Muppets MCU, he is the Fozzie of the Muppets. It's Kermit the Frog. Most iconic of them all. Started everything. He's the only character to successfully transfer off of Sesame Street and do his own thing. And sometimes my favorite part of Kermit, you can tell when stuff's going down, he just collects himself like, what the f*** with these people? And you know what? It's relatable.
And you better not have a problem with his voice, Tommy, or I'll fight you on that one.
No. And maybe the best singer of all of these.
Ooh. I don't know about that one, Tommy.
I think that you could say that Kermit has had a successful musical career, but is he the best singer? We can find out on another episode of Top Shelf Takes.
Ooh.
Of the best singers in the Muppet universe.
Yeah. I definitely think we should be thinking about that relatively soon.
All right.
Dylan?
My number 3, one spot higher than Tommy had him, is Elmo. For all of the same reasons as Tommy previously mentioned. Despite your not liking his voice, we'll just push past that. But I think for the same reasons as Tommy stated, Elmo, but at the 3 spot. I think he needs to be on this list. I think he needs to be included. I'm afraid he's going to fall off if we don't have him. We can't talk about iconic puppets and not include Elmo in the conversation.
You know what? That's fair.
But we also need a Muppet on the list because the whole thing is they're puppets.
Well,
Because Dylan, I don't know if you knew this. Muppet and puppet. Them rhyme.
But if you stay tuned, we might see Kermit reach even higher than those 3 spot, Tommy.
I don't think Kermit's being either of my next 2.
I got to fight for him for Tim.
I know. Tim would support my list.
I believe that that Kermit and Elmo need to both be on this list, but where they fall, I don't know. I definitely think that Kermit should be higher than Elmo, though.
I second that.
So
It becomes, do we slot in Elmo at the 3 and see if Kermit reaches higher, or is Elmo getting bumped?
3 right now, I'm going to say we put on Kermit. And then we can go back and change at the end.
all right.
We'll see. All right, Tommy, I'll give this one to you. Although I still think we do a thing at the end where we revisit and reshuffle if we have to.
And then Tim re-edits all of the video.
Yeah, and then Tim's going to edit all of this.
Great.
My number 2 puppet is Kermit. Because I think, 1, Kermit should be higher than Elmo. They should both be on this list as we have talked about. Hence, I have Kermit at 2 for everything that you have argued, Tommy. What more needs to be said about Kermit the Frog?
Yeah,
He's
that's true.
an absolutely iconic puppet, and there's no way he can't be on this list. Because, as Tommy said, Muppets, wait for it, are puppets. It's mind-blowing, really. Take it away, Tommy.
Number 2. In my all 23 years of life, not one thing has made me fall so much in love at first sight. I almost cried the first time I saw it.
I think I know who this pick is.
It's Baby Yoda. Nothing's taken me by storm to the point where I think about it every single day. Like Baby Yoda.
Where is he, Tommy?
He's upstairs.
Oh, sad.
I didn't think this through. I'm going to say it like this, because I talk to the audience once per episode. If you do not like Baby Yoda, go play in traffic.
Coming in for my hot number 2 is also Baby Yoda, whose actual name is the child. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I didn't watch Star Wars until maybe like 4 years ago, and I haven't completed the whole series. And all of my previous knowledge on the subject came from the movie Spaceballs, which is phenomenal. But as I have consumed the culture, Baby Yoda has been one of the cutest little things that I have ever seen. And he's 50 years old. And I think that he's just got a lot of character for a little cute little baby. So I can get behind Baby Yoda for number 2, but we will need to revisit number 3.
Okay, now we ready for the number 1 puppet.
I think we're ready. I think the world is ready.
Dylan, take us away.
My number 1, as a Star Wars fan from a young lad, I have grown up with it. I've continued to watch it, and I continue to love them. And we got our own trilogy in our lives now, and he is in all 3 of them. It's Yoda. Yoda is like one of the classic puppets in a classic franchise in Star Wars, and I think he gives you so many great moments over the years. He's a Jedi master. He trains younglings his whole life. He fights the dark side, and he is one of the few that actually go on to become one with the Force and becomes a Force ghost to continue to help out future generations of Jedi and Masters. He comes back to help Luke in the third trilogy in episode 8, in one of the best scenes in the new trilogies when lightning strikes the tree and has that great speech with Luke. I think he gives you so many moments like that throughout the course of his time. How can you not have Yoda at your number 1 spot?
Because I have Miss Piggy at my number 1 spot. We have no female poets on this list yet, and that's because you put Miss Piggy down below. She deserves number 1 spot because she acts like it. She's an absolute diva, an icon. She is career-driven, and she is multi-talented, singing, dancing, acting, karate, and when Muppets Take Manhattan, she has super strength. She bends metal bars, okay, to get out of a sticky situation. And also, she comes from humble beginnings. She was born above a butcher's shop. Her father, unfortunately, died, and her mother was not so nice to her, so she left. And she always wanted to be more than what she was. And this was a dark time for her, but one of her initial jobs was posing for a bacon ad. And she worked up from that and became a beauty pageant queen, and then found the show. And even Frank Oz, the creator of the Muppets, said she wants everyone to treat her like a lady, and if they don't, she'll cut them in half. So I'm just putting that out there. I think she deserves it.
My number 1. I also go Yoda. And what's sealed it for me is the atrocity that is Last Jedi. Because the only highlight of that movie is geriatric Yoda burning things.
It is a great scene. I'll argue with you about the rest of that movie, but
I mean, you can't get better than Yoda. He's probably the first puppet with talking roles with a human like that in a movie. If you go back and look, 79, they weren't doing that.
Fair point. That's a good point. I didn't think of that.
And in terms of not speaking proper English, I have been whacked in the head a lot. And I have talked like Yoda the next day. So you know what? I feel you there, buddy.
All right. I seem to be outvoted for number 1 spot, but
I would say Miss Piggy, is she above Kermit?
I think this is the revisit time for the list.
Yeah, we are definitely going to have time.
I would like to think that Miss Piggy is above Kermit. I mean, they are both great, but if we're looking to kick someone off of this list or potentially move them, I believe Miss Piggy deserves a spot here.
Is Miss Piggy above Elmo?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry.
So I say
is for the people. Elmo is for the babies. Anywho.
May I propose this?
Sure.
We take Sketchbook, because I am really not sure what she is. And we slide her out. We move Alf down to 6.
Okay.
Because I think Alf, living with him, he loses his novelty pretty quick.
Yeah, all right, fine. Sketchbook's out. Alf's moved down.
Valcor moves to 5.
Okay.
See what you're doing here.
We slide. We make history.
All right.
So we have our 6. You ready, people? Number 6. Everyone's favorite alien life form, Alf. At number 5, we have Valcor, the friendly dragon. We have Miss Piggy. Also, at number 3, we have Kermit the Frog. At number 2, we have one Baby Yoda. And at number 1, we have the old Jedi Master himself, Yoda. So, Internet, the debate's over. Get back to your lives. Visit your loved ones. Hug a dog. Punch a bird.
Punch a bird.
Live. You can now. The top 6 puppet debate. It's over.
Should we all fist pump the camera so
Yep.
it blacks out? All right, and then